a man over 60 and have noticed that your physical capabilities, particularly in matters of intimacy, are not what they once were. If your mornings no longer carry the same vitality, if your confidence has begun to wane and you find yourself weary of pretending that these changes don't affect you, then please pay very close attention. What I'm about to share with you might not only surprise you, but could even profoundly shift your perspective. My extensive experience, accumulated over more than 3 decades of dedicated practice as a men's health specialist, treating thousands of men beyond the age of 60, has revealed a truth that is remarkably overlooked. The primary culprit behind diminished erections in older men is not, as many believe, a decline in testosterone. Instead, the overwhelmingly prevalent cause is inadequate blood flow. And the solution, I assure you, does not lie with a prescription blue pill, nor does it require any expensive gadgets or even a specialized supplement. Astonishingly, the answer is a simple vegetable, something you can incorporate into your morning routine. And within a matter of days, you may begin to witness a remarkable revival of your circulation, your energy levels, and indeed your masculine vitality. My name is Dr. Mohit Kara, and my lifelong commitment has been to guide older men in reclaiming their strength, their self-assurance, and their zest for life. In this discourse, I will guide you through a powerful, scientifically validated, and entirely natural strategy that has been embraced by real patients and is readily available in any local grocery store. The moment you begin your day with this one specific food, a cascade of positive changes can occur. Your blood pressure can stabilize, your body's production of nitric oxide can surge, and oxygen-rich blood can flow precisely where it's most needed, including to the very core of your masculine identity. This is a fundamental piece of knowledge that a vast number of men are simply unaware of, which is precisely why I implore you to remain with me until the very conclusion. I will meticulously explain the mechanism by which this works, the precise steps for its implementation, and the compelling reasons why so many men report experiencing significant improvements in as little as 7 days. Before we delve into the comprehensive details of this method, I kindly ask you to take a brief moment to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. By doing so, you will ensure that you never miss out on any future insights designed to help you rediscover your strength, your energy, and your unshakable confidence. Furthermore, if this message resonates with you on a personal level, please indicate your agreement by typing the numeral 1 in the comments section. If, however, you feel it does not align with your current needs, a simple 0 will suffice, allowing me to better understand how to serve you effectively. Now let us begin by addressing the true, often unspoken reason why so many men past the age of 60 encounter difficulties with erections, and why this issue is far more intricately linked to blood flow than to hormonal levels. 1. The forgotten reason. The decline in erectile function after 60 is a common concern, yet it's a truth that most men seldom hear. It's not a topic readily discussed by physicians, friends, or even advertised on television. Nevertheless, it stands as one of the most crucial understandings I've gained throughout my 3 decades as a physician specializing in men's health. Erections do not simply diminish with age after 60. This is a pervasive myth. The actual reason lies in the diminished capacity of your blood to circulate efficiently as it once did. I have encountered countless men who have sat before me, good men, strong men, individuals who have dedicated their lives to hard work and responsibility. They look me directly in the eye and confess, "Doctor, I believe I am simply past my prime." To this, I respond with unwavering conviction. No, you are not. Your prime remains within you. It is your circulation that has been neglected, not your inherent manhood. The ability to achieve and sustain an erection is fundamentally dependent on a single, critical bodily system: blood flow. More specifically, it hinges on the delivery of oxygen-rich blood to the intricate network of small vessels within the penis. This crucial flow is orchestrated by a gas your body naturally produces, known as nitric oxide. In your younger years, your nitric oxide levels were consistently high, which facilitated rapid and effortless arousal. However, as men approach and surpass 60, nitric oxide levels can plummet, sometimes by as much as 70%. Simultaneously, your arteries begin to lose their flexibility, becoming stiffer. The inner lining of your blood vessels, termed the endothelium, becomes less responsive. Consequently, the robust surge of blood that once filled your penis with vigor, akin to inflating a balloon, is now reduced to a mere trickle. You are not inherently broken, your body is merely signaling a need for assistance. And this is the aspect that often strikes a chord with many of my patients. This physiological shift does not solely impact sexual performance. It profoundly affects self-confidence, one's sense of identity, and even the emotional intimacy shared with a partner. The most disheartening part is that most men are never informed that this condition is rectifiable, yet it most certainly is, and in a manner that is far more natural and sustainable than they might initially conceive. Believe it or not, there exists a simple vegetable, one that can be consumed each morning, which actively assists your body in rebuilding nitric oxide and restarting the very engine that drives your erections, your energy, and your overall circulation. In the ensuing moments, I will reveal precisely what this vegetable is and illuminate why it possesses a potency that surpasses that of most commercially available pills. 2. The one vegetable that rebuilds circulation in older men. When I first encountered the extraordinary potential of this particular vegetable, I must confess I harbored a degree of skepticism. This skepticism was not born from a disbelief in the therapeutic power of food, but rather from the sheer simplicity of the concept. Could something so commonplace, so inexpensive, truly make a significant difference in the blood flow to such a vital region of a man's body? However, as I began to witness the tangible results, my doubts evaporated. And it wasn't just me. My patients, men in their late 60s, 70s, and even early 80s, started returning to my office after just a few weeks, sharing remarkable anecdotes. They would say things like, "Dr. Kara, I woke up firm again," or "For the first time in months, I felt ready, just like I used to." All they had done was incorporate this one food into their morning regimen. The vegetable I am referring to is the beetroot, or as it's commonly known, the beet. Yes, those deep red root vegetables that are often relegated to the side of our plates or overlooked at the bottom of a salad bar. Within this unassuming vegetable lies a potent compound that your aging body desperately requires: dietary nitrate. Upon consumption of beets, your body initiates a process of converting these dietary nitrates into nitric oxide. This is the very same gas that signals your arteries to relax, to widen, and to permit blood to flow unimpeded. What is truly remarkable is the targeted nature of this effect. The enhanced blood flow does not merely benefit your heart or your brain, it also significantly improves circulation to the pelvic region, including the spongy tissues within the penis that engorge and expand during arousal. For older men, this is of paramount importance. You are not simply augmenting your ability to achieve an erection, you are actively nourishing the entire system that underpins vitality, energy, and confidence. And there is a personal anecdote I wish to share. Years ago, I worked with a gentleman named Charles. He was 71 years old, a retired engineer, and he had not experienced a full erection in over a year. We implemented a single, straightforward change. We instructed him to commence each morning with a glass of fresh beet juice, precisely 6 ounces. That was the entirety of the intervention. By the second week, he contacted me, audibly emotional, stating, "Dr. Kara, I feel like myself again." It was at that moment I understood that this was not merely theoretical, it was demonstrably real. Now, let us delve into the precise physiological processes that unfold within your body when you consume beets. How does that humble nitrate transform into nitric oxide and subsequently restore blood flow to the areas where it is most critically needed? We will dissect this process, and you will come to understand why the timing and the method of preparation are far more significant than you might currently imagine. 3. What happens in your body when you eat beets? You might be asking yourself, how can something as seemingly simple as a beet genuinely assist in restoring the blood flow you experienced in your younger days? It's a question I've pondered myself. However, once you comprehend the intricate biological mechanisms at play, the entire process becomes remarkably clear. It's akin to witnessing a slow, quiet miracle unfolding beneath the surface of your own physiology. Here's a breakdown of what transpires when you consume beets. You are not merely ingesting fiber or antioxidants. You are providing your body with a direct and potent source of dietary nitrates. These nitrates serve as the essential raw material your body utilizes to produce a critical compound known as nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas, invisible and silent, yet it plays one of the most vital roles in the health and function of your vascular system. Its primary function is to signal your blood vessels to relax. It essentially instructs your arteries to widen, to open up, and to allow blood to flow freely. This is the precise signal that your body has been missing. The entire process commences in your mouth. As you chew the beet, the beneficial bacteria present on your tongue begin the initial conversion of nitrates into nitrites. Subsequently, upon swallowing, your stomach and circulatory system continue this transformation, ultimately converting these nitrites into nitric oxide. Within mere minutes of consumption, you might experience a subtle sensation of lightness, an enhanced feeling of oxygenation, and with consistent daily intake, a measurable improvement in blood flow. This improved flow extends beyond your heart and brain, reaching your lower extremities, an area where many men begin to feel the cumulative effects of aging. I have heard numerous men express, "Doctor, I thought I was done. I believed the most vibrant years of my life were behind me." Yet, after just 2 weeks of incorporating beet juice into their morning routine, they report feeling sharper, more energetic, and, yes, more responsive in intimate moments. This transcends mere physical performance. It is about reclaiming your very sense of self. It's about waking up each morning with the assurance that your body is still attuned to you, still capable of responding. Furthermore, there is an even more exciting aspect to consider. Beets do not solely facilitate improved blood flow. They actively protect your blood vessels from damage, mitigate inflammation, and can, over time, contribute to lowering your blood pressure. This means that beets are not merely addressing a single issue, they are fundamentally strengthening your entire cardiovascular foundation. Of course, for these benefits to be fully realized, it is imperative to understand the optimal method of incorporating beets into your diet. The timing of consumption, the specific preparation, and even the foods you combine them with can significantly influence your results. Therefore, allow me to guide you through the most effective ways to make beets a part of your morning ritual and to maximize the benefits derived from every single bite. 4. Real results from real men over 60. There is an undeniable power in witnessing scientific principles translate into tangible improvements in the lives of real individuals. It's not just about clinical studies or textbook theories. It's about observing the transformation of actual people. And I can state with absolute sincerity that some of the most profoundly rewarding moments of my career have been hearing the subtle yet unmistakable return of hope in a man's voice as he declares, "Doctor, it's working." Let me share the story of Mr. Anderson. He was 67 years old when he first sought my counsel. A retired teacher, he was soft-spoken, proud yet visibly burdened by an unspoken concern. He confided that he had not experienced a complete, natural erection in over 8 months. There was no morning rigidity, and no arousal that felt fully satisfying. This was beginning to impact his marriage, but more significantly, it was altering his perception of himself. He admitted, "I feel like my body is betraying me, and I don't know how to fight back." We discussed the intricacies of blood flow, nitric oxide, and the pivotal role of diet. My recommendation was remarkably simple. I advised him to start his mornings with half a cup of fresh beet juice. That was the extent of the prescription. No medications, no undue pressure, just a quiet commitment to himself. Approximately 2 weeks later, he contacted my office. His voice was noticeably lighter, imbued with a sense of surprise. He reported, "I woke up this morning and there it was. Not weak, not partial, but solid. And I didn't need anything extra to make it happen. I could sense the resurgence of pride, the restoration of his dignity. This was not merely about performance, it was about regaining a sense of wholeness. He felt, quite literally, alive again. Mr. Anderson's experience is far from unique. I have observed similar transformations in plumbers, accountants, veterans, and pastors, men who had resigned themselves to the belief that their most vibrant years were behind them, only to discover that with a modicum of support and consistent effort, their bodies still held immense potential. What I want you to internalize from this is a crucial message. You are not beyond help. Your body has not abandoned you. It is awaiting the correct signal, the appropriate support. And when that support arrives in a form as uncomplicated as a glass of beet juice, it serves as a powerful reminder of the innate intelligence and remarkable resilience of the male body. However, as I've emphasized previously, the efficacy extends beyond the beet itself. It is inextricably linked to how and when you utilize it. Therefore, let us now proceed to a detailed explanation of precisely how to prepare and consume it each morning to unlock its full, transformative potential. Timing, as you will soon understand, is everything, and the ensuing minutes will clarify precisely why. 5. When and how to eat beets for maximum circulation. In my years dedicated to assisting older men in revitalizing their health, I have learned one paramount lesson. Timing and consistency are the linchpins of success. You can possess the ideal food, the most beneficial nutrients, and the strongest intentions, but if you employ them incorrectly or at the wrong moment, you will invariably fall short of achieving the results your body is truly capable of. This is particularly true when it comes to the consumption of beets. Now, I understand that the prospect of adopting a new routine can feel overwhelming for some men. They might assume it necessitates drastic overnight changes or the preparation of complex culinary endeavors. However, the truth is that the method for maximizing the benefits of beets is remarkably straightforward. And once you experience firsthand the positive impact it has on your body, you will naturally be inclined to continue. The morning hours represent a golden window of opportunity. This is the time when your testosterone levels are naturally at their zenith, your blood vessels exhibit their greatest responsiveness, and your body is optimally primed for nutrient absorption. Consuming beets on an empty stomach or drinking beet juice as the very first thing upon waking allows your body to convert those precious nitrates into nitric oxide with significantly greater efficiency. I have encountered men who have attempted to consume them later in the day or after a substantial breakfast, and the difference in their body's response has been nothing short of night and day. Therefore, my unequivocal recommendation is as follows. Commence your day with half a cup of roasted beet slices, or blend a small beet into your morning smoothie. For those who prioritize convenience, a scoop of high-quality beetroot powder mixed with warm water can yield equally impressive results. The quantity required is not substantial. What is crucial is the daily consistency and ensuring it is consumed before your first meal of the day. There is one additional detail that I consistently share with my patients, and it may sound peculiar. Avoid brushing your teeth immediately before or after consuming beets. While this may seem counterintuitive, the beneficial bacteria residing in your mouth play a critical role in initiating the conversion of nitrates into nitric oxide. If you employ a strong mouthwash or brush your teeth too soon after consumption, you risk inadvertently hindering the very biochemical reaction your body requires to enhance blood flow. These seemingly minor details are the ones that elevate a good habit into a truly exceptional one. And consider this, a few extra inches of blood flow can make an immeasurable difference in terms of your confidence, your energy levels, and your intimacy. However, as potent as beets are, they are not a magical panacea. They necessitate the right environment to function optimally. Unfortunately, a significant number of men unknowingly sabotage their own progress each morning by combining them with incompatible foods. In the subsequent section, I will meticulously outline precisely what you should avoid and the surprising breakfast pitfalls that may be inadvertently impeding your success. 6. What not to eat in the morning if you want better erections. It is remarkably easy to become solely focused on what to incorporate into our routines: the beet juice, the morning rituals, the circulation-boosting elements. However, over the years, I have come to understand that what we choose to remove from our mornings can be just as, if not more, significant than what we add. I have encountered patients who, despite diligently drinking their beet juice as prescribed, reported minimal changes. Upon closer examination, we would discover that their breakfast habits were subtly undermining their efforts. They were consuming foods that they believed were harmless, or even healthy, which were, in reality, constricting their arteries, causing inflammation in their blood vessels, and effectively blunting the very nitric oxide surge we were striving to achieve. Among the most insidious culprits are processed breakfast meats: bacon, sausage, deli ham. These items are typically laden with sodium and preservatives that actively constrict blood vessels, thereby reducing circulation to the pelvic region. Then there are the refined carbohydrates: white toast, muffins, pastries. These trigger rapid spikes in insulin, leading to hormonal crashes, including a detrimental impact on testosterone levels. Furthermore, excessive caffeine consumption on an empty stomach can elevate cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. Elevated cortisol, in turn, tightens blood vessels, making arousal a more challenging prospect. Now, I am not suggesting that you must entirely abstain from these foods forever. However, if your objective is to genuinely restore your masculine vitality and provide your body with the best possible chance to heal, then the first hour of your day must be dedicated to supporting that healing process, not actively obstructing it. Instead of opting for processed meats, consider a boiled egg or a small handful of nuts. In place of sugary toast or cereal, try a slice of avocado on whole grain bread. These types of foods harmonize exceptionally well with beets. They provide essential healthy fats, vital vitamins, and crucial minerals that nourish your blood vessels and support optimal hormonal balance. When you make this conscious shift, removing the elements that clog your system and replacing them with foods that nourish and protect, your body responds. Blood begins to flow more freely, a sense of warmth returns, and for many men, experiencing their first natural erection after weeks or even months of absence feels akin to life itself breathing back into their very sense of identity. But it is not solely about the food itself, it is about biology. There is a profound reason why I advocate for completing these practices in the morning rather than later in the day. Something significant occurs within your body each morning that transforms it into the ideal window for rebuilding your strength. In the subsequent section, I will elucidate precisely why the timing of your morning habits could prove to be a complete game changer. 7. Why morning matters more than you think. Throughout my career, I have observed a powerful correlation between men who embrace morning routines and positive health outcomes, particularly among those over 60. It's not merely that their bodies exhibit a more robust response, although that is certainly a contributing factor. Rather, the morning itself transforms into a pivotal turning point, a moment of reclamation, a time when, instead of allowing the demands of the day to dictate their physical and emotional state, they actively choose to set a tone of strength, purpose, and healing. From a biological standpoint, the morning represents a golden window for male health. Your testosterone levels are at their daily peak, meaning your body is inherently more receptive to stimulation, both mental and physical. Your blood pressure tends to be slightly elevated in the early hours. While this might initially seem concerning, it actually primes your circulatory system for optimal function, provided it receives the appropriate support. When you consume nitrate-rich foods, such as beets in the morning on an empty stomach, your body's ability to convert them into nitric oxide is significantly enhanced. As you now understand, nitric oxide is the crucial messenger that instructs your blood vessels to relax and expand, thereby opening the pathways for oxygen, nutrients, and blood to reach every part of your body, including those areas that are fundamental to your intimacy and self-confidence. However, I have noticed something even deeper in my patients. When a man initiates his day with deliberate intention, choosing to nourish himself rather than skipping breakfast or opting for something fast and processed, he begins to reclaim a sense of control over his health. This is as much a psychological shift as it is a physical one. And for men who have felt a sense of powerlessness in their bodies for an extended period, this shift can be truly life-altering. I recall a patient, a 72-year-old former Marine, who expressed to me, "Doctor, I don't want a quick fix. I want a mission. I want a reason to wake up and fight for my body again." We began with small, manageable steps, a glass of beet juice, a 10-minute walk, a more nutritious breakfast. Within a few weeks, he wasn't merely experiencing improved circulation, he was sleeping better, laughing more frequently, and presenting himself differently in his marriage. This is the transformative power of morning routines. They do not simply heal the body, they anchor the man. Now, you might be contemplating, how long will it take before I begin to perceive these changes? When will the benefits truly manifest in my energy levels, my performance, and my overall confidence? This is precisely what we will explore in the next section, because the timeline for experiencing these results may indeed surprise you, particularly if you have been navigating a period of diminished vitality for an extended duration. 8. What to expect. The timeline for results. One of the most frequent inquiries I receive from men when I recommend a natural approach, such as incorporating beet juice, is this: "Dr. Kara, how long will it be before I actually feel something?" This is an entirely valid question. Let's be honest, when you have endured months or even years of feeling as though your body is no longer cooperating, it becomes challenging to believe that something as simple as this could instigate genuine change. And yet, I have witnessed it unfold time and time again. In the initial few days, most men do not report dramatic shifts in their bedroom performance. However, they often notice subtle changes, perhaps a slight enhancement in facial color, a marginal improvement in focus, or even a greater ease in getting out of bed in the morning. This is not coincidental. It signifies the nascent stages of your circulatory system reawakening. By day 4 or 5, the nitric oxide boost begins to accumulate. Your blood vessels start to dilate more freely. You might experience warmer hands and feet. Some men confide that they feel lighter, as though their body is expending less effort simply to navigate the day. Then, day 7 arrives. This is where things become particularly interesting. A number of my patients have reported waking up with their first spontaneous morning erection in months. No medication, no external stimulation, simply the natural consequence of blood finally reaching its intended destination. And it's not solely the physical response that is noteworthy. It is the subsequent emotional uplift, a profound sense of, "I'm back." By the 2-week mark, many men begin to observe measurable improvements. They experience stronger responses to touch, more consistent energy levels throughout the day, and in some instances, even a reduction in blood pressure. And if you maintain consistency for a full 30 days, it transcends mere change. It becomes a foundational element of your well-being. I consistently remind my patients that the key is not perfection, but rather consistency. You are not forcing your body into submission, you are actively supporting it. And when you consistently provide your body with what it needs, day by day, moment by moment, it responds positively. And here lies the most remarkable aspect. This is not solely about erections or energy levels. Beets are performing a far deeper, more fundamental action beneath the surface. They are actively supporting your long-term vascular health, the very system that ensures your brain remains sharp, your heart remains strong, and your masculine vitality remains vibrant. So let us take this one step further. What if this simple morning habit could evolve into a cherished ritual, a daily practice that not only enhances your performance but actively aids you in reclaiming your identity as a man? In the forthcoming section, we will meticulously examine precisely how this profound shift occurs and why it possesses a far greater impact than merely taking a pill. 9. The morning ritual that reclaims masculinity. There exists a profound sense of sanctity in the quietude of the morning, that precious interlude before the cacophony, the distractions, and the impending weight of the day descends. For a considerable number of the men with whom I collaborate, these early hours transcend mere time for sustenance or a perfunctory walk. They evolve into a dedicated moment for reconnecting, for remembering who they are, for reclaiming something they believed irrevocably lost, their masculinity. Now, I am not referring to masculinity in the boisterous, performative sense that society frequently portrays. I speak of an intrinsic, quiet strength, a grounded confidence, a serene assurance that one's body still functions, that it remains unequivocally theirs, and that they are still capable of rising in every conceivable sense of the word. For so many of my older patients, establishing a morning ritual centered around something as simple as consuming beet juice becomes a transformative turning point. It ceases to be solely about improving circulation or achieving firmer erections. Although these aspects are undeniably important, it evolves into a profound act of showing up for oneself. Nourishing your body first thing in the morning sends a powerful message. I still care. I am still fighting for myself. This message, conveyed not through words, but through consistent action, begins to reshape your mindset from the inside out. I recall one gentleman in particular, a 74-year-old widower, who had, in the preceding years, retreated into what he described as a quiet hibernation. He seldom ventured out, no longer felt like his former self, yet he committed to the morning ritual every single day. Beet juice at sunrise, followed by a brief walk and a few deep breaths. After 3 weeks, he reported, "I feel like I've awakened, not just physically, something else, something deeper." This is the caliber of transformation we are discussing here, because in truth, it extends beyond mere erections or enhanced blood flow. It is fundamentally about identity. When you commence your day with purpose, with care, with intention, your body begins to trust you anew, and within that rekindled trust, the process of healing commences. And there is one final crucial element to this equation that I wish to impart, perhaps the most significant of all, because even with this devoted morning ritual, even with the adoption of the correct foods and the optimal timing, the majority of men still overlook one vital aspect. It is a simple truth, yet it could represent the crucial differentiator between ephemeral improvement and enduring long-term restoration. And this is precisely what we will address next. 10. A final word from Dr. Kara. If you have remained with me this far, I wish to take this moment to speak with you directly, not solely as a physician, but as someone who has had the privilege of accompanying thousands of men on similar journeys. Men who have carried the silent burden of shame, the quiet frustration of unmet expectations, or a growing sense of estrangement from their own bodies. Men who have attempted to deflect these concerns with humor, to persevere through sheer willpower, or simply to resign themselves to the notion that this is an inevitable consequence of aging. But I am here to emphatically remind you, it does not have to be this way. The undeniable truth is that your body is still receptive, still capable of response, still possesses the inherent capacity for change, even if the world has ceased to expect it of you. And at times, all it requires is one small, consistent act of self-care, such as incorporating beets into your morning routine to initiate a profound ripple effect of healing. I have witnessed this transformation in men who were convinced their most productive years were long past, only to discover that strength and confidence were still very much alive within them, merely awaiting the right signal to re-emerge. I do not recount these stories because they are exceptional or rare. I share them because they are demonstrably possible. And if you are willing to take that initial step, not for anyone else, but for yourself, then this simple habit could very well mark the commencement of an entirely new chapter in your life. A chapter where you cease merely managing symptoms and instead actively reclaim dominion over your well-being. However, let me be unequivocally clear. This is more than just a routine. It is a fundamental shift in mindset, a conscious decision. Every time you partake in that beet juice or sit down to a more nutritious breakfast, you are transmitting a powerful message to your heart, your hormones, and your very sense of manhood. I am still here and I still matter. Therefore, I urge you to ask yourself, what would it feel like to awaken with a renewed sense of energy, to look in the mirror and feel a profound connection with your body once more? To know with certainty that the changes you are implementing are not temporary expedients, but genuine lasting strides toward becoming the man you aspire to be. And now that we have thoroughly explored the science, the practical habits, the realistic timelines, and the deeper underlying reasons for this transformative potential, there remains but one final integral piece of the puzzle. Because if your ultimate goal is to solidify these gains and safeguard all that you have diligently worked to achieve, a powerful conclusion awaits you, one that artfully synthesizes everything we have discussed and vividly illustrates the extraordinary possibilities that arise when intention converges with decisive action. Let us complete this transformative journey together. Conclusion: let this be the dawn of the rest of your life. By this point, you have been presented with a comprehensive perspective. You have learned that the primary, often overlooked, reason so many men encounter diminished erectile function after the age of 60 is not solely a matter of testosterone levels. It is fundamentally about circulation. You have discovered that beetroot, a humble and frequently underestimated vegetable, possesses the remarkable ability to revitalize nitric oxide production, restore optimal blood flow, and breathe new life into aspects of yourself that may have felt lost. You have gained insight into the internal physiological processes that occur when you consume beets, witnessed how men just like you have experienced profound and life-altering transformations, and understood the critical importance of timing, especially within the morning hours, in maximizing these benefits. We have discussed the dietary elements to actively avoid, specifically the breakfast habits that may be unknowingly sabotaging your progress, and illuminated the restorative power of cultivating a ritual, something that not only supports your physical well-being, but actively reclaims your masculinity from within. You have been presented with a realistic timeline of results, from subtle initial shifts to more significant transformations that emerge over time. And you have heard my personal reflections, offered not just as a physician, but as someone who holds an unwavering belief in your inherent potential to feel robust, capable, and vibrantly alive once more. Therefore, this is what I wish to leave you with. Do not postpone this for a more opportune moment. Do not wait for enhanced motivation, further research, or another wake-up call. You possess everything you need right now: the knowledge, the tools, and the power of choice. One small, consistent action, repeated each morning, can establish a rhythm of healing that permeates every facet of your existence: your energy, your confidence, your relationships, and your fundamental sense of identity as a man. Regardless of how many years you have lived or how long you have felt disconnected from the man you once were, that version of you is still present, still waiting, and still ready to re-emerge. Beets are merely the starting point. Let this be the first morning of the rest of your life. You are not finished. Far from it. You are, in fact, just getting started. If this video has resonated with you, if it has offered you a new perspective on your body, or if it has provided even a small spark of hope, I would be deeply honored if you would express your appreciation by giving it a like. This not only informs me that these messages are impactful, but also assists others who are seeking similar support in discovering this content. Please feel free to share this video with a brother, a friend, or anyone you believe could benefit from this information. You never know whose life you might positively influence simply by passing it along. I also warmly welcome your contributions in the comments section. Type 1 if you intend to implement this morning beet routine or share your ongoing experiences. I personally read every comment and learned from each of your unique journeys. Furthermore, Furthermore, if you wish to support this channel and enable us to reach a greater number of men with authentic, trustworthy, and hopeful health content, you are welcome to make a donation via the link provided below. Every contribution, no matter the size, helps us maintain these videos ad-free, ensures their integrity, and allows us to remain focused on what truly matters, helping you reclaim your strength one day at a time. Thank you for dedicating your time to watch, and thank you for taking proactive ownership of your health. You are not alone, and it is never too late to begin again.